Hello, everyone. I really hope that you're all doing great today. And I'll welcome you all to our first podcast where we talk about youth center, volunteering, and many more things. And today there are two of us. So let me introduce my friend Alex. Can you tell about yourself, if you would?
Hello guys, I'm Alex, I'm 22, I'm from Greece, and I'm really excited to be here in Oradea, having this podcast, having the possibility of meeting you all. So about my background, I just finished my bachelor's in mathematics, so I have a few months of not having anything important to do with my life and deciding to come here and make meaningful change. What about you?
So my name is Oosta and I come from Lithuania, the capital of Lithuania, Vilnius. And I am an aspiring artist and just a person that has many ideas going on in my head, many hobbies, many things that I do in my life. So I'm just an active person who always is looking for some new opportunities, new things to try. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up here today in Romania too. And yeah, so we're here volunteers actually. We're the international volunteers for the youth center in Oradea.
It's an ESC project. We'll talk about European Solidarity Corps more probably in our podcast because it's really interesting. But I really think we should start why we decided to volunteer. How did we start?
Yeah, so I believe in my country, in Lithuania, the volunteering got really popular maybe around 7 years ago, maybe a bit more. I don't even remember that well. But what I really remember is that when I was around 15 years old, I was already kind of ready to do something in my life, maybe go work somewhere, maybe contribute somehow to local communities, companies, whatever. I was just an active person all the time. So of course, at 15 years old, you cannot really go to work and you cannot earn money legally, at least in my country. So I was looking for some kind of different opportunities and I was just browsing the internet one summer and I realized that one art studio is looking for volunteers for summer camp for kids. They're mainly doing different arts like painting, drawing, and all the other fun things with kids, and they were looking for volunteers from like 14 years old. So I was just a perfect fit for them and I just messaged them or called them, I don't even remember, and they said, yeah, of course, please come. And that was my first huge responsible work actually, because I was just 15, but I already got the chance to take care of kids, to actually be as an adult, and that was like a very strange experience in a way, but it was really, really great because I learned a lot of things. I realized a lot of things about myself and what do I do like and what do I maybe not really like. And so from that point, from that one summer camp, I started volunteering more and more. And then I started looking for some other opportunities. And in Lithuania, we have a lot of sports events, and I contributed to many of those. I don't even remember how many. Then I started going to other summer camps too as a volunteer. I had some bigger organizations in Lithuania that I contributed to. But a little bit later in my life, especially during the university years, I had kind of plenty of time, and I really got into some of the organizations like Maltese Orden, or we also had like Students or Association, and we did a lot of different events, projects, and many different topics. So I volunteered everywhere from arts to sports to medicine. Yeah, just plenty of stuff. And what kind of experiences do you have, maybe? Who brought you to volunteering?
So from volunteering perspective, I really had the same feeling you did, around 14, 15, having the need to do something, like make a change or work, or already feeling responsible and wanting to make a change in our society. So I had different organizations, from Red Cross Association, where we did like first aid, or like going to concerts and protecting people there. Maybe also organizations about animals, some vegan activism. I also had volunteering with a small organization about the rights of underage people, because if you're like from 0 to 18, you have some specific rights from United Nations, and many people don't know these rights because they're kind of different to the ones that everybody does. So there was also some talking about that, volunteering with that organization. And as I started getting older and older, I realized that there are opportunities, like European Union opportunities, projects that you can participate to. So around high school, I think it was my first youth exchange project. I went to Azores in Portugal, and I stayed there for a week at the different families' house. And I really remember how all the intercultural things made an impact on me. It was something that I hadn't experienced before, because obviously when you're traveling as a tourist, it's totally a different experience. But then you get to live the life of, okay, it's only a week, but you still get to live the life in a different country, how they go to school, what's their student life like. And so from that point and forward, I started applying to more projects, youth exchanges, training courses, different Erasmus Plus projects, and trying to improve myself and make a better version of myself into different aspects. Sometimes it's about topics that you didn't even know that you enjoy, or you don't even know you like, and suddenly you're really interested and passionate in that project.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess my first Erasmus Plus project was also by the end of high school, if I remember correctly. And then I went to many more, as you said. And we actually met each other at one of the projects. And it's crazy how life works sometimes. And during those projects, you get to meet plenty of people from all over the Europe, and not only actually. And in the last few projects, I met, I don't know, maybe 20 people from Oradea. And that's one of the reasons how I ended up here, because they were all like inviting me to come here just for a week or so, just to visit them. And then I realized that, hey, there is a project here, like long-term volunteering. I can see my friends, I can see the beautiful city that everybody's talking about, and I can also almost like work here, contribute to the local community. I get to experience the whole vibe of Romania from a little bit different perspective. As Alex said, like, you get to experience the city, the life, the country from like already residents perspective. It's not only coming as a tourist. So basically the friends that I have here and just wanting to change something in my life brought me here to Romania, as where I am today. And why did you decide to come here?
So, as you said, we met in a project in Poland. So, we're from Greece, Lithuania, and then we're meeting again in Romania. So, definitely one of the reasons was that too. Let's meet in a different country again. But besides that, I think I had enough projects where it was like a week, maybe a bit more. I kind of felt that I have time in my life now to make a bigger impact, more meaningful in a way, and stay somewhere for a longer period of time where I can truly experience the way of life. I can truly live in that city, become a resident, and maybe hopefully change that society too. So as I finished my bachelor and possibly before starting my master's, I had some free time to go in a new place, start all over, and create a new version of myself, and just explore all the possibilities of who I am.
Yeah, that sounds really fun actually. And I don't remember if I mentioned that already, but we're here at a youth center, and our main activities that we do are here in youth center, and we mostly work with youth, local youth, of course. And one of the reasons why I decided to go for youth, not like other different projects, is that I was a teenager myself just a few years ago, and I feel that I can understand what local people, what local teenagers need, and how can I contribute to their lives. How can I make this place even more fun, more youthful, if I can say that? And yeah, why do you think you chose to work with youth?
For me, youth work is actually providing a safe space for youth. It's just one word, being there. Maybe you're not the person that knows it all, but you need to be authentic, you need to listen to their needs, and they need to know that you're there for them. Whatever the case, whatever the scenario, they need your support. And I think it's really common nowadays for grown-ups, adults, not really to listen to youth, because we have a tendency to think that we're know-it-alls, and youth don't have real life problems, or they don't really care. So having a space where I can be the person that I would really like to have as a teenager is really meaningful for me. And that's mostly the reason that I want to be here. Being here, providing that safe space, and maybe help youth explore all the possibilities and capabilities that they have.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, because I have quite some experience working and volunteering with kids, young teenagers, or sometimes even young adults in Lithuania. And through all of those years working with them, I realized what they really need and how to kind of talk to young people, and how can we find some kind of a common ground to actually work with them and to come up with some amazing ideas all together, to create projects all together, because I think that the inclusion is really, really important. And as Alex said, like, we have a lot of problems in our society, in our local communities, when it comes to like teenagers and adults. And there's always this generational gap that everybody talks about. And we want to be that kind of a bridge that connects different generations, and can have some kind of discussion between those generations. We can find some kind of solutions between the generations, and we want to provide, as you said, a safe space and a place where all of their ideas can actually come true, and where they can just come and be themselves.
And just to be more specific, because I think the term youth is not widely used, like anyone from 14 to 35 is considered youth. So as youth workers here, we create mainly in our daily lives some workshops or activities for youth. So we already are here for a week, maybe some more, and we have created, I think, already some activities, and we have ideas for plenty more. We have done yoga, hosted an amazing yoga workshop. It was really nice. I really hope we'll see you there in the next ones. We had a vision board, which was kind of collage making, who we are, who we want to be, what's our inner core like. Today we have origami. On Sunday there is running, so you can always join us on running during weekends. What else do we think we can contribute here, this organization?
So we actually came here with plenty of ideas, and on our first day here in the youth center, we just sat down and wrote a whole list of things that we want to do. And first we thought that, hey, let's make this place fun and let's have fun ourselves, but in that way we can actually engage more with young people, and in that way we can maybe attract more people coming to this youth center, and in that way we can make this environment as good as it could be. And yeah, we have plenty more ideas in our heads, and of course, the youth work is not all about fun. It's about being there for teenagers. Sometimes it can turn into, I don't know, psychological counseling. Sometimes it can turn into like some kind of social work here. And we don't only do fun stuff like the DIYs, arts and crafts, sports. We are also going to talk about some important matters, and we will have some more workshops in depth about psychology, about our emotional state, mental well-being. Maybe we'll touch some more interesting things like politics, human rights, everything, literally, because youth has to know about everything that is going on in our daily lives, and we're here to teach them, to show them everything that they might ever need. So that's why we're like actively talking to local volunteers, to local people who come here just to see what they need, what kind of activities do they like, what kind of knowledge they would like to get, and we'll try to combine all the fun and also learning together, so we can actually have this amazing space for everybody.
And exactly the thing you're talking about is what I like most in this youth center, in this volunteering, because the possibilities are endless. We come here with all our ideas and we have the space to implement them. And it's also a path for us to learn and see what does the youth need, what does this society, like this local society, need. And obviously we want to have fun, because we'll have fun in these workshops too, in these activities, but it's also about making small changes, maybe not immediately, but in the future, even the smallest thing can have an impact. And I really can't wait for our theater workshops also, because they're gonna be like some body movement too, maybe rights, maybe some social things. You mentioned some of those already.
So yeah, let's see what future brings to us, because as we said, it's only been a few days, honestly, here. But well, everything sounds super fun and cool. We just came here, we're plenty of ideas. Let's talk about how we felt coming here, and how did we actually ended up here. So did you have any fears before coming to this youth center, to this project in general?
For sure I did. I think I had plenty of fears, in the sense that you leave everything that you know behind and you go to a new environment. You possibly don't know anyone there, you don't know the language, everything is new, and you kind of start over. And that can be exciting, but it can also thrilling, but it can be sometimes full of fear that possibilities are endless, but it could be also bad, you don't really know. But if you really change your mindset, you can understand that's also good, because who are you? What do you like? It really makes you think more. And I also have the fear that maybe I will kind of lose the time, and I believe it's a great opportunity, and I really, really want to experience every second and minute of it. And I don't want to go into a routine where every day is the same and we do that just because we have to. No, I really, really want to do that because it's a new day and let's make a change.
Yeah, that's true. I totally get that. And before coming here, I was talking to Alex and sharing my maybe some kind of fears, or maybe things that I'm not sure about. And okay, I'm gonna sound really cliched and millennial-like, but it's stepping out of your comfort zone. Come on, let's be honest. We have to do that. You can call it other names, not only comfort zone. It's about challenging yourself or whatever. whatever you name it, but it has to be that kind of change where you change your location, maybe you change your settings, you change your living conditions, and it's all can be anxiety inducing, but at the same time it's a wonderful experience when you actually set your mind right and you finally take the steps towards coming to a new country. Okay, might not be even to a new country, it can be starting volunteering at your local community, at your local organization or company that you've been thinking about. All of those little things, volunteering practices, and all the other possibilities that we have, opportunities that we have, are really life-changing and are really, really great. And I really would wish that every young person could try volunteering or practice or stuff like that as we do right now.
Yeah, sometimes you really surprise yourself in those new environments because maybe you haven't thought. I haven't thought ever that I will be doing a podcast, in Orada, and here I am. So you really surprise yourself, and it's about personal growth. Does it sound cliche and millennial? Yes, it does, but it is about personal growth. It's about learning things, maybe learning how to do Instagram posts, maybe learning about how to do origami, maybe just talking to other people and learning what they like, what they dislike, and also thinking about that. It's just a learning process that I really believe is beneficial in our lives to have as a constant.
After volunteering in some kind of organization or place, you will never ever be the same. Because if you look back, you will realize how many little things you learned over this journey. Okay, maybe you will not learn high mathematics here, but you will learn how to communicate, how to facilitate events, how to talk to different people, how to find some kind of consensus between different people. Maybe you will learn something about local everyday life. Maybe you learn some kind of new language. Maybe you get to know more people, more international people, or maybe you get to know your local people too, because we don't know our local communities nowadays. And there are so many skills that you can learn here that...
And the amount of people that you'll meet, the networking, how many international friends we have in different countries, you cannot even imagine. When you think about it, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's true. So any kind of volunteering, and especially international volunteering, is all about a personal growth. And if you want to try to be a better version of yourself, which is, again, is very cliched and very wide talked about, but...
Is it true?
Yeah, but it is actually true. It's all about a personal growth and actively taking steps to be a better person and to actually leave some kind of mark on local communities. Because when I was overthinking my life goals and what I really want to do and what's the meaning of everything, some deep stuff going on in my head, I realized that I really, really want to leave some kind of a mark in communities that I belong to. These can be the communities in my own country, these can be like some kind of groups that I belong to, some kind of workplaces, I don't know, university, whatever you do on your daily life. I want to leave some kind of significant mark so they will remember me, or maybe I will make some kind of a change to better. And here I am in a new community trying to do the same thing, and I really hope that after a few months we will have another podcast and we will talk a bit more about how it all went, and I will be able to tell you that, hey, I really actually made it and I did this and that and we changed this and that. So it's gonna be wonderful, I believe.
It will. But we're talking about like volunteering and general. Do we have like any specific tips of how to do it? What's the steps? Where do we find it? Like, there's so many questions.
Yeah, the first thing is just you have to wake up one day and decide that, hey, I'm gonna do something with my life, and maybe I'm gonna try volunteering, and maybe I'll try the youth exchanges, something in that way. And you just have to commit a day to search the internet. We all know how to use it, and just go and look for those opportunities, because everything can be done from like your home, from your bed, and you can just start. The thing that you really need is to start, because when you start, everything else will come into places sooner or later. So can you share a bit more? How do we find those opportunities? Where to look for? What's going on?
Okay, if we're talking locally, I think just Googling and searching the internet, maybe seeing for a youth center locally. Do you have a youth center in your town? Probably you do. What the youth center does, and looking for that. So locally there are opportunities, you can really find them if you Google. But if we're talking about international volunteering, there is the European Solidarity Corps website. We mentioned it also in the beginning. It's really easy to navigate. You just enter it, volunteering opportunities, and then you have the whole map of Europe, and not even only Europe, the whole map of the world. You see the amount of time you need to be there for volunteering, what's maybe some kind of info pack with more information about that place. Then you have what will you need to do, what your profile needs to be, and you just apply. Nothing more than that. You apply, you wait. A tip that I'll give to you is just be yourself, be passionate about it, read carefully what they need, and just be yourself. You'll manage it. You cannot even imagine how many projects we applied before arriving here. So maybe it's not an immediate response, but you'll get there.
Yeah, that's true. And I really believe that every country in Europe, at least, have plenty of organizations that work with Erasmus Plus projects, with European Solidarity Corps, and different other organizations that are under the Erasmus umbrella, and they can provide you all information. So you can just browse on Facebook or Instagram the local organizations that say something about youth work, Erasmus, training courses, youth exchanges, anything in that kind of category. And I believe if you just text them, hey, I want to go to a youth exchange, or hey, I want to volunteer, they will help you to find the information that you need, and will help you to just apply to do all the steps that you need for getting into youth exchange or volunteering project or anything like that.
And we know it's scary, it's a step out of the comfort zone, but really just going for it and starting is the biggest step you need to take. After that, it's easier. We promise you it is.
Yeah, it's true. So I really hope that this little talk of ours inspired you in some way, or at least you got to know what kind of opportunities are out there and what are we doing here in this youth center. So maybe you'll decide to come and join our activities, because we're always waiting for you. And well, I really hope that we will get an opportunity to talk to you a bit later, after a few months maybe, as I said, when we'll get something really done. And if you have any questions more about volunteering, maybe in this youth center, maybe somewhere internationally, you can always contact us on social media and just say hi and ask, what do I do?
We're here to answer your questions, and we really hope to meet all of you personally. We're here.
Yeah, so thank you all for listening today, and thank you all for being with us today. And we'll see you sometime in the future.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.